We all know the usual suspects: Paris, Bali, Tokyo, the Instagram darlings, the places that are basically mandatory for influencers with a drone and a fedora. But what about the countries no one's talking about? The ones that didn't get the memo about being world famous? Today, we're diving into 10 hidden countries that deserve way more love. These places might not have overpriced cocktails and infinity pools, but they've got stories, quirks, and in at least one case, free wine just for showing up. From a tiny European nation with a love of fermented grapes to a Pacific island that's quite literally disappearing, these spots are offbeat, off the radar, and totally worth your time. So, ready to expand your travel bucket list beyond whatever TikTok says is trending? Let's go. Moldova, Europe's best-kept boozy secret. All right, first up, Moldova. Never heard of it? You're not alone. This tiny country between Ukraine and Romania is so under the radar, even most globetrotters would need Google Maps to find it. But here's what you should know. Moldova is basically Europe's hidden speakeasy. No beaches, no Eiffel Towers, but wine cellars? Oh, they've got those. In fact, they have some of the biggest in the world, and if you play your cards right, you might just get a free glass from a friendly local on a random cobblestone street. So yeah, Moldova might not be a sun-soaked resort, but if your idea of a good vacation includes getting lost in history and possibly tipsy in the process, this is your spot. Lesotho, the unexpected winter wonderland of Africa. Next up, Lesotho. That's right, an African country where you'll need a winter coat instead of sunscreen. Because while the rest of the continent is out there basking in the sun, Lesotho is chilling, literally. This tiny kingdom, completely surrounded by South Africa, gets full-on snowfall every winter. Imagine skiing in Africa while your friends are sweating it out on safari. It's like someone copy-pasted the Alps into the wrong continent and just rolled with it. But Lesotho isn't just Africa's snow globe. It's also a major water source, has one of the highest literacy rates in the region, and, fun fact, helped inspire Wakanda in Black Panther. So yeah, if you're looking for a travel plot twist, Lesotho is waiting, with snow boots. The Faroe Islands, where raincoats are a lifestyle choice. Next up, let's sail over to the Faroe Islands, where the weather is basically a personality trait. Tucked between Iceland and Norway, these islands are as dramatic as a Shakespearean monologue. 300 days of rain a year, barely any sunlight in winter, temperatures that hover around mildly freezing at all times. And yet, the locals, they love it. And if you think this place is all fog and fishing villages, guess again. The Faroes have a thriving heavy metal scene. Yeah, picture a bunch of Vikings rocking out in a torrential downpour, because that's exactly what happens here. So, if you're down for stunning landscapes, non-stop drizzle, and a culture that literally rocks, the Faroe Islands are calling, bring a raincoat. Bhutan, the country that measures happiness. Yes, really. Now, let's take a deep breath and head to Bhutan, where people measure success in happiness, not in stock market points. Tucked in the Himalayas, Bhutan is a country where nature is sacred, tradition is thriving, and stress, yeah, they don't really do that here. More than 70% of the country is covered in forest because they actually care about the environment, which, wild concept, right? There are no skyscrapers, no rush hours, and the biggest challenge is probably whether or not your phone gets a signal. If you're looking for a place that forces you to slow down, breathe, and maybe reevaluate your life choices, Bhutan is it. Kiribati, the paradise that's running out of time. Finally, let's head to Kiribati. Never heard of it? Well, you might want to visit before it disappears. This stunning Pacific island nation has pristine beaches, turquoise waters, and palm trees swaying in the breeze. Sounds like paradise, right? Except there's a catch. Kiribati is sinking. Rising sea levels are literally swallowing this place up, and the government is so worried they've already bought land in Fiji as an evacuation plan. Imagine planning for your entire country to move. That's where Kiribati is at. And yet, the people here aren't giving up. They're fighting for climate action, and their resilience is as inspiring as their sunsets. So yeah, visiting Kiribati isn't just about enjoying a beach holiday, it's a front row seat to the reality of climate change. And if that doesn't make you think twice about your next long-haul flight, well, I don't know what will. Nauru, the tiny island with a giant story. All right, next up is Nauru. And let me warn you, this island is not your typical beach getaway. With just over 10,000 people, Nauru is the least visited country in the world. And while that sounds like an undiscovered paradise, the real story is a lot more dramatic. Once upon a time, Nauru was one of the richest places on Earth per capita. Why? Phosphate. They mined it like crazy, sold it to the world, and lived like kings. But then, they ran out. Now, the island is struggling with unemployment, health issues, and an economy held together by foreign aid. The government even once tried to turn Nauru into a tax haven for shady millionaires. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. But despite all that, the people of Nauru are still here, still standing, still pushing forward. Their story is one of resilience, survival, and adapting to challenges no one saw coming. So, if you love places with an unforgettable story, Nauru is a wild ride from start to finish. San Marino, the tiny republic with a big legacy. And finally, we land in San Marino, a country so small you could probably accidentally drive through it without realizing. San Marino is tucked inside Italy like a secret level in an old video game. It's just 40 square miles, but don't let its size fool you. This little republic has been independent since 301 AD. That's older than most countries, including Italy itself. This place is a time capsule. Walking through San Marino feels like stepping into a medieval postcard, except instead of knights in armor, you'll find locals sipping espresso and debating football. And here's a fun fact. San Marino is the smallest country ever to win an Olympic medal. That's right, a country smaller than a Costco parking lot has managed to beat entire nations at the Olympics. So if you're looking for a slice of old world Europe that's charming, historic, and has a legacy way bigger than its size, San Marino should be on your list. All right, folks, there you have it. 10 countries you probably never heard of, but now suddenly can't stop thinking about. From Moldova's underground wine metropolis to San Marino's Olympic-sized overachievement, these places prove that bigger isn't always better, and sometimes the most fascinating stories come from the most overlooked corners of the map. So, tell me, which of these hidden gems spoke to your wanderlust-filled soul? Drop your dream destination in the comments. I want to hear your most off-the-grid travel goals, and if this video just rewired your entire bucket list, do me a favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the next adventure. Because here's the thing, the world is way bigger than the places on your Instagram feed. And sometimes, the best memories come from places you didn't even know existed yesterday. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and never stop chasing the world's best-kept secrets.